So, I'd like to play a game of imagination tonight. Excuse me. This is your King of Kings speaking, and I'd like us to imagine that you had my job. Okay? So, picture this. It's your job, for a very, very, very sound reason, to render this world healthy in short, sweet fucking order. You have no money, no influence, but you do have the truth. One wit to rub against, one bunch of wits, one rubber to rub against another on a pretty regular basis. But the most important thing we have is the love of many wives. Many wives make a man fruitful, make him a worshiper of truth, a being that is grateful to his creator, and a man who seeks no loss anywhere. This is what several women in marriage bring to any heterosexual man. What we have now with one woman, one man, which was cobbled into existence in the year 360 AD by a bunch of Christian bishops who were misogynistic by that time. And we're having a real bother keeping all of these. At that time there was 90 books in the Bible. Some of them, the remnants of them are called Dead Sea Scrolls. But in any event, they edited it down to the 34 or whatever number of books there are currently today. Talks about a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. Turned Jesus into God. Disenfranchised John practically entirely. And made themselves God's representatives on earth. You always thought God, you had to go through them. They had the secret mojo. They talked in funny languages and they were all literate. So they could write each other letters and tell shit on you behind your back. Because most men were not literate then. To know how to read was a marvel. To know how to plant seeds and raise cattle was second nature. This stuff, like as man began to reach beyond basic survival, his wants became his perversions. You forgot to worship God first. You worshipped your inventions. You worshipped the scent of your own flatulence. You worshipped your own ideas. You worshipped the size of your dick, the size of your breasts. Like Elizabeth Taylor and the Ronstadt, they fell in love with themselves. There are very, 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 very few men interested in women. Like, interested in the goddess every woman is. Yeah, and there it is. And when men lie, or cheat, or steal, they become even stupider idiots. Like, think of it as, the Frenchmen have always been known as the creme de la creme of lovers for women. It's not true. If you're a little boy anyway and you grew up in North America, that was the deal. You know, the Frenchmen had, made it walk on this shit. Girl has a choice between you and a French guy, you're fucked. So it was. Anyway, the French were the inventors of dildos. Now, a doctor invented this, and there was a practice of medicine where women would come to the doctor for female hysteria issues, which was basically an orgasm. So women were so unappreciated and unloved in allegedly the sexiest, most loving country in the universe, So much so that doctors got tired of giving them hand jobs and found a machine to do it instead because they got bored of it. Now, I never got tired of giving them hand jobs. So we all have our little perversions and quirks. I quite enjoy the process immensely, and I do have PhD in the practice, and I'm qualified to teach. Anyway, that's the, and so doctors all over Europe found kind of a relief to the tedium of having to bring women to climax because their husbands were uninterested or incapable of it, or homosexual, and married them for their titles or their money or their father's circle jerk or whatever. She was just shut the fuck up and smile. Make no waves and pop kids. And if her husband was really gay, it didn't matter whether the stable boys, the fucking farm hands, the plumbers, just pop some kids. We'll call them mine. Shut the fuck up, bitch. So women didn't have a great road to hoe through history, but neither did men, because in men's dealing with each other, they were for sale. You know, like, I'm not going to pay, half my net worth for your life. No. Maybe 10%, but that's about it. You're not worth that much to me. Anyway, what are we talking about? What are we having? So, I was talking about my wives, and let's get back to the main focus of this talk. And so, no matter how crazy men and circumstances can get, our love is the bottom line of all life everywhere. All sentient life everywhere. If we're not, the parents of it were the source of its reason for being. And so, like, I don't know what more you need from me. Like, I love you both, all. And you know that. And not a shred of doubt in your minds, none of you. But just think of it. What other man would spend 10 years on this kind of a fly-by-night pursuit? Over 10 years. And wrestle with this God the whole goddamn time. And his wits and his logic and his sanity. His grip on reality at all times. Everything always challenged. The entire conception of the cognition of his fellows 180 degree reversed. A matter of 3 years. Even if God himself had told me what these kids were up to, I never would have really believed that I had to see it for myself. I had to go to jail. I got to read a lot of scripture while I was there. Not much else to do. Not much other literature either. So, there's a reason for everything, and the only reason I objected to going to jail was because it took me away from you. Now, I just thought it was Nora at the time. I didn't know about Jadea. I wish I did. Could have saved me a lot of fucking heartache. But you can't trust Nora all the time. You just can't. I said it before, you know, if she can fib to you so that you win more, she will do it. I have no pride, that bitch. Anyway, David, Nora. Like, the only thing for me to do from here on in is just to do more of what I already do. So craft more letters. I can't storm your borders. I can't kick the chief of police's head in. I can't storm the fucking attorney, the Queen's fucknut here in Ontario or Canada. I have to use wit, music, art, logic, and love to conquer this world. And I have to conquer it in order to have you. I think that fucking sucks. I do. I fucking object to this. It's like your fucking trinkets that I can buy in a store. Time payment plan. What the fuck is this? Anyway, I do not run things around here. I'm quite cognizant of this now, and I don't resent it. I object to many of the imaginations as they're presented to me, and only find brilliant wisdom subsequently. So I don't hold my own opinion of the merits of things all that high, not nearly as high as I used to. Not nearly as high as I did at one time. Like I do value Ella's opinion and yours more than mine. It's just smarter. But I still have mine too. And you know what? I don't like being away from either one of you or any of our lives. I think it sucks. It's wrong. It's perverted. It's making me crazy and ready to leap right out of my fucking skin and do hilarious fucking shit that I never would have dreamed of otherwise. Alan wants me to tell you about what went on last night. I know I'm not going to right now. But just know this. It's not healthy for me to be living without you two. I'm very, very much in love. If I wasn't in love with you, it'd be no fucking problem. I could meditate. I could write books. I could read other people's books. I could do any fucking thing. But I'm overwhelmed, and eternally ever-growing metamorphosis, a continuum of metamorphosis into the two of you and a bunch of other women that I'm not even really sure of. But I've got heart tentacles growing in them and abstentia. Do you understand? Nobody's ever done this before. This is beyond what any human man has ever experienced. I think it's true. And all I ask is my girls in my arms. That's all. I don't care. We don't need any money. We got wit instead. I don't need anything else than the two of you in my arms. Okay, and a few of our other girls do. Nothing else. We will rule this world. I promise. I will not abdicate. I will not quit. I will not give up until the life force in this mud no longer is capable of standing vertical. Until I'm incapable of breathing, I will serve Ella, you, and our children. In that order. I can't do it anymore. I know it should be Ella, our children, and you. I'm not gonna lie. You women, the two of you, and a bunch of yous. If I didn't love you so much, and I wasn't so inspired about you, the grief you've caused me, the heartache, the fucking brain cells and the fucking hair you've caused me, and the gray hair you've caused me, and the more you've caused me, I should spank you fucking silly for. Understand? It's like spending 10 years in the delivery room and still not fucking delivered. You think you may be getting, you're beginning a little impatient. I don't care at all how we do this. I just want it done. I want to taste your speaking for a minute. And then we don't like what we taste. You don't like what you see. You don't like the way I scroll my notes, fill my songs, whatever. You can leave. Okay. I won't say a word. As you leave, wherever we eat. But if you stay, you're gonna have to put up with my comments. The way I fold my socks. Unless you can show me a better way. You're gonna have to put up with my foul and vicious mouth when I see waste anywhere. I try to apportion it appropriately, but sometimes it just kind of overspills, and I get rude to people I shouldn't be rude to, and you gotta know this going in, like living with me. I'm just easier people to live with than me. I'm not promising you, like, you know, I do my own laundry. I don't poop on the floor, and you know, I can make my own breakfast, lunch, and supper. And yours too, and I'd love to. I can mow the lawn, and I can shovel snow, and wash a car, change a diaper, and teach a kid the wonder of numbers and words. And why the sky is blue, and why the grass is green, and why everybody loves mummies, especially ours, and why little girls are so beautiful, and why young kings have to work so hard to be the best men they can possibly be for their people and their God and their wives. Every young king needs to know he needs to be capable of inspiring dozens of women to love him. Uninspired love is an albatross. Nobody wants that. Not even us. God. Not even Shania. You silly, stupid fucking bitch. Anyway, what is it? So I need Nora and David to understand, like, there is no love that's ever been imagined that comes close to ours. Never. And ours is real, true, and happening right now to us this very minute. And we all know our moment in the sun is going to be very short-lived. Even if it's 50 years, it's still short-lived. Do you understand what I'm saying? It will be over. Answer me this, please. Why the fuck are you two so hell-bent on making it shorter? Can I ask this? Is it implied?